God is awakening you concerning someone whose name begins with the letter J. And you must not let your heart fall into shock when that identity is revealed. I speak to you now not to sow fear within you, but to awaken discernment in you, because there are things that, if you continue to ignore them, will quietly dim the peace I have preserved for you. That person has entered the sphere of your life in a way that requires you to pause and observe. And the small signs you once sensed were not meaningless. Therefore, quiet your heart and do not rush to react from temporary emotion. I am preparing you before the truth is opened. So, when you hear that name, you will not tremble. You will not be confused. And you will not allow yourself to be swept into tangled thoughts. What I desire from you is calmness, discernment, and a heart that follows the light. This is not the time to delay, nor is it the time to persuade yourself that nothing is happening. I am leading you to see more clearly, so you may know how to protect your peace. Guard what is precious in your life, and continue forward with the steadiness I have placed within you. My beloved child, not every presence around you carries the same heart as yours. This is not meant to make you disappointed in people, nor to make you close your heart to life, but to teach you how to love without losing discernment. I know you often look at others with forgiving eyes. You often tell yourself that perhaps they did not mean it. Perhaps they are going through something. Perhaps you should be a little more patient. Yield a little more. Trust a little more. That kindness is not wrong. And I never disregard the softness I placed within you. But, my child, softness does not mean you must allow anyone to enter the region of your peace without discernment. A kind heart still needs a door. A loving life still needs boundaries. And one who is guided by me must still know when to open the heart, when to remain silent, when to observe, and when to step back in order to protect the precious thing I am building. The person whose name begins with J has entered the sphere of your life in a way that is not accidental to your awareness. I do not say this so you will rush to conclusions, hastily condemn, or react with tension. I am simply inviting you to see with more awakened eyes. There are people who appear not to remain in the way you once hoped, but to teach you a lesson about truth, trust, limits, and listening to the inner prompting within you. Perhaps you once overlooked a few small signs, reassured yourself that everything was still fine, chose silence to keep peace, and smiled even when something inside quietly sank. I saw all those moments. I saw how you tried to preserve peace. I saw that you did not want to misunderstand anyone, did not want to hurt anyone. We did not want to let a passing feeling become a reason for changing your behavior. But now, I am bringing you to a place where uncertainty must give way to clarity. The transparency I bring to you is not a fire that burns your heart with anger, but a light that helps you recognize the way forward. When truth is placed under the light, you no longer have to feel your way through confusion. When what needs to be seen is revealed, you no longer have to blame yourself for having sensed it. You will understand that the movements within you were not weak imagination, nor were they signs of baseless anxiety. They were the way I protected you before everything became too heavy. They were the way I drew you out of connections that could make you weary, confused, or lose the purity you had to pass through many seasons to regain. I do not want you to live in fear. I want you to live in awareness. Fear causes you to shrink back, but awareness helps you stand firm. Fear makes you suspect everything, but awareness helps you see what must be seen and release what must be released. So do not take lightly the gentle prompting rising within your heart. It may come as hesitation when you hear a name. It may come as a pause in a conversation. It may come as the feeling that you no longer want to explain too much, no longer want to keep proving your goodwill. You no longer want to force a connection that has already cost you your peace. These things are not always loud, but they carry their own weight. I am teaching you to honor the voice of peace I have placed within you. When peace leaves a place, a conversation, a relationship, or a choice, pause long enough to ask what I am showing you. Do not rush to deny it simply because you do not yet have enough evidence in your hand. Sometimes, my guidance comes before evidence, so you may be protected before the wound has a chance to take root. I know your heart is used to giving chances. You do not easily turn away from anyone. You often give others more time, more compassion, more room to change. That makes you beautiful in my eyes, because a heart that knows mercy always carries the fragrance of nobility. But you must also understand that mercy does not mean you must remain in a position that drains you. Forgiveness does not mean you must give back the same level of closeness. Peace does not mean pretending nothing ever shook you. There are connections that, after a season, must be put back into their proper place. There are people you can still bless, yet no longer need to open the door for them to step deeply into your life. There are things you can release quietly, without arguing, without exposing, without wounding, simply by gently stepping out of the place that no longer aligns with the peace I have for you. The name that is about to be mentioned, or that has already passed through your thoughts, will not be unfamiliar to you. That very familiarity may confuse you, because you once thought what was familiar must be safe, what was close must be trustworthy, and what had existed for a long time must surely have a lasting place. But my child, not everything familiar is something I want you to continue leaning on. Sometimes I allow you to recognize the truth not to hurt you, but to free you from an invisible bond. Sometimes I open your eyes not so you will lose faith, but so your faith may be placed in the right place. Sometimes I allow an uneasiness to become clearer, not to make you panic, but so you will no longer deceive yourself that everything is still as it was before. Maturity begins when you have the courage to see something as it truly is, not only as you hoped it would become. And when you understand, I do not want you to react with shock or bitterness. Let peace lead you. Say less if needed. Observe more if needed. Keep your heart soft yet firm. You do not need to prove that you were right. You do not need to force anyone to admit what they are not ready to admit. You only need to follow the light I place before you, step by step. When I reveal something, I will also give you the strength to handle it with maturity. When I warn you, I will also protect you from hasty reactions. When I lead you out of a place of uncertainty, I will also open for you a wider sky, where you can breathe more lightly, stand upright, and live in the purity of mind and calmness of heart. Remain in this awareness, my beloved child, because what I am doing is not only connected to one person or one name, but also to the way you step into the new season of your life. I am teaching you not to ignore the signals of peace. I am teaching you to distinguish between kindness and people-pleasing, between patience and losing yourself, between love and placing yourself where you are no longer respected. What I am building in your life needs to be protected with wisdom. The good seeds I have sown within you need clean soil in which to grow. The promises I have placed upon your journey cannot continue to be covered in dust by connections that confuse your mind. So let your heart become still. Do not hurry. Do not fear. And do not blame yourself for having felt this. I have been with you from the beginning. I am with you in this moment. And I will continue to lead you through everything that needs to be revealed. When truth appears, you will not collapse. You will stand more firmly. When what is hidden is illuminated, you will not lose direction. You will walk more clearly. And when you choose to listen to my guidance, you will see that my protection always arrives at the right time, gentle yet mighty, quiet yet never lacking power. I have always watched over every interaction, every conversation, every glance, every silence, and every hidden intention that your natural eyes could not yet recognize. Nothing taking place around you has escaped my sight. The things you only sensed vaguely, I saw clearly from the beginning. The small changes in the attitudes of others, the words that seemed accidental yet carried a strange weight. The times you left an encounter feeling uneasy but could not explain why all of it was noticed by me. So when I speak to remind you now, it is not to make you afraid, but to prepare you to walk in clarity. My protection does not always come through a great event that changes everything in an instant. Often, protection comes through a ray of understanding placed within your heart before something happens. Through a quiet feeling that causes you to stop at the right moment. Through a holy uneasiness that keeps you from stepping deeper into a place that could wound you. My beloved child, when that name is mentioned, do not let yourself be swept into confusion as though everything has suddenly fallen upon you without warning. I have prepared you already. I placed small signs along your path, allowed you to sense what did not fit, and many times slowed your heart when you were about to overlook something important. This does not surprise me, and it is not beyond my rule. Others may hide their intentions before you, but no one can hide them before me. They may present an outer image different from what is hidden within, but my light pierces through every covering. What I am doing is placing truth before you. Not so you will collapse in pain, but so you will rise in freedom. No longer walking in the uncertainty that has pulled your heart back and forth again and again. This is also a moment of maturity for you. A time when I teach you to trust more deeply the hidden prompting I placed within your heart long ago. You often sensed that something was not right, yet then persuaded yourself that perhaps you were thinking too much. Perhaps you were too sensitive. Perhaps you should not be suspicious. You tried to be kind, tried to give others more chances, tried to look at everything with compassion. I do not blame you for this. A soft heart is not something shameful, but my child, softness must walk with clarity. Mercy must be protected by healthy boundaries. Forgiveness does not mean you must continue placing yourself where you are being worn down. I am helping you distinguish between love and handing yourself over to what is not pure, between patience and ignoring the warnings I gently placed before you. The deep knowing within you has always been there, quietly guiding you even when you did not yet dare to trust it. Sometimes it came as heaviness before a promise that seemed too easy. Sometimes it came as a pause within your heart when someone said something that sounded good but carried no peace. Sometimes it came as a very gentle reminder: wait a little longer, observe a little more. Do not give everything immediately. Do not open the door too wide. You did not always understand that reminder, but I continued patiently teaching you. Now, I am strengthening that connection so you will no longer keep walking in constant hesitation. No longer let the noise outside drown out the guidance within. And no longer let fear of being misunderstood cause you to betray the discernment I have given you. The person connected to the initial J has had a role in your journey, but that role was not meant to remain in darkness forever. There are people allowed to appear in your life for a time to reveal what you need to learn, to illuminate the wounds that need healing, to help you recognize the boundaries you need to establish, and to show you how much you have grown. Not everyone who walks with you is meant to stay until the end of the road. Some people come as lessons, some come as tests, and some come to help you see that you need to step closer to me rather than place your safety in human approval. That person's role is being exposed so you can move forward with truth, not with prolonged suspicion, not with unanswered questions, and not with the feeling of being stuck in a connection that drains your heart. When clarity comes, do not let fear take the place of leadership. Fear will try to tell you that you have lost too much, trusted wrongly for too long, and were not wise enough to recognize it sooner. But I do not speak to you with a condemning voice like that. I do not use truth to crush you. I use truth to free you. What comes from me may make you become serious, may awaken you. They may require time for you to be still and receive it, but it does not pull you into despair. What comes from me carries peace, even when it shines light on something difficult to face. It carries steadiness, even when things around you are shifting. It places a firm foundation beneath your feet so you can step away from what is distorted without losing your heart. You are being shown this because you are ready to face it. Do not think this unveiling is happening because you are weak. No, my beloved child. It is happening because the time has come when you are mature enough to see the truth without letting that truth destroy you. In the past, perhaps you did not yet have enough strength to know everything. Perhaps, if everything had been revealed too soon, you would have been swept into pain, resentment, or self-doubt. But I led you step by step, made you stronger through each season, and taught you to stand upon what I say rather than upon how others treat you. Now, you can see more clearly, not to take revenge, not to nurture bitterness, but to choose freedom, to choose peace, and to move on from what has completed its role. Remember that when I reveal something, I also give you strength to handle it. I do not open your eyes and then leave you standing alone in confusion. I do not lift the curtain and leave you bewildered, not knowing what to do. I will guide you in how to respond with wisdom. At times, you will need to be silent and observe. At times, you will need to withdraw in peace. At times, you will need to set clear boundaries without explaining too much. At times, you will need to forgive in your heart, but not return to the place that has wounded you many times. I will show you that rhythm. You do not need to react hastily from the wound. Stand in my peace, and you will know how to continue. From here onward, you will no longer take lightly the gentle warnings I place within your heart. You will learn to treasure peace as a precious sign. When something comes from me, it is not always easy, but it does not cause you to lose yourself in chaos. When a person is rightly placed by me in your life, their presence does not continually drain you, does not make you shrink back, and does not force you to doubt your own value. I am teaching you to recognize that difference. I am refining your discernment so you will not only walk with kindness, but also with clarity. You will love more deeply, but not blindly. You will be more generous, but you will not let others turn your generosity into a road by which they harm you. So remain calm when the truth appears. Breathe within my protection. Remember that I have gone before you in every detail. This does not come to break you, but to free the part of your life that has been tied to uncertainty for too long. I am bringing you out of the dark place of things left unspoken, out of the confusion of mixed signals, out of connections that have caused you to doubt your own discernment. You will emerge from this season with brighter eyes, a steadier heart, healthier boundaries, and deeper trust in my guidance. I have always watched over you, always protected you, always prepared you, and now I am placing truth in your hand like a key to open the next door of freedom. This is a turning point, where the things that once remained silent begin to speak, and the things that were once dim now become clear enough that you can no longer continue pretending nothing has happened. My beloved child, I know you have passed through many seasons in patience, many times feeling within yourself a very quiet hesitation, a silent warning, an absence of peace that you could not explain in words. You told yourself that perhaps you were thinking too much. Perhaps you should be more generous. Perhaps keeping harmony was better than facing what was difficult to say. And because your heart did not want to wound anyone, you chose silence, chose to yield. We chose to step past those small signs as though they were not worth stopping for. But I saw it all. My child, I saw how you tried to keep everything peaceful, even while within you, weariness began to grow because you had carried uncertainty for too long. There were times when you gave one more chance, then another, not because you did not know pain, but because you still hoped a person's heart could change. You were patient with explanations that were not complete, with attitudes that confused you, with distances that went unnamed, with actions that made your heart sink, yet were not clear enough for you to put into words. You held on to the hope that everything would eventually become good, that if you were softer, more patient, and tried harder to understand them, the tension would dissolve. I do not blame you for loving that way. I do not belittle your patience. I know your heart tried to choose what was good, even when that goodness caused you to suffer quietly. But now, I am inviting you to look again, not with fear, and not with anger, but with the clarity I have placed within you. There are feelings that do not come to make you anxious without reason. They come to remind you to pay attention. There are hesitations in the heart that are not weakness. They are signals that you need to stop. Observe and ask for wisdom. There are times when peace withdraws from a relationship, a promise, a connection, or a circumstance, not to make you panic, but to protect you from stepping deeper into what is no longer pure. You sensed correctly, even though at the time you did not understand why. What you recognized within your heart was not meaningless. I am turning scattered signs into a fuller picture. So you will no longer blame yourself for noticing what others tried to hide. The person connected to that initial did not appear in this story by accident. Not so you would be afraid. And not so you would hastily condemn. But so you would awaken. There are names, faces, and presences in your life that need to be seen with cleaner eyes, not covered by the habit of trusting too quickly or by the desire to keep everything peaceful at any cost. I am not telling you to become suspicious of everyone. I do not want you to live defensively, closed off and cold, but I also do not want your goodness to become a door others can enter without truthfulness. Your kindness is precious, but kindness must walk with discernment. Your softness is beautiful, but softness must be guarded with wisdom. Now, as the truth begins to be revealed layer by layer, do not react like someone cornered. Do not let temporary emotions control your words. Do not let old pain make you act harshly. I am teaching you a deeper kind of strength, the strength that knows how to stand still and remain steady, how to be silent without being weak, how to observe without fear, and how to set boundaries without losing mercy. You do not need to shout to prove that you have seen. You do not need to argue to force others to admit what they have done. You do not need to lower yourself to the land of bitterness. Truth has its own way of stepping into the light. And when it does, let peace lead you. The truth being opened is not meant to break you, but to make you stand more firmly in discernment. There are things I allow to be revealed, not because I want to hurt you, but because I do not want you to continue building trust on an unstable foundation. If something needs to be seen, I will bring it into the light. If a person needs to be recognized more clearly, I will let you see through actions, through the atmosphere, and through the repetition of signs you once overlooked. But you must remember, recognizing truth does not mean losing tenderness. Setting boundaries does not mean becoming cruel. Stepping back from what is unhealthy does not mean you lack love. Sometimes the most mature form of love is knowing when to stop allowing what causes harm to continue being called normal. My child, there is a very thin line between kindness and allowing yourself to be blinded. I am helping you see that line. True kindness does not require you to deny the truth. True forgiveness does not demand that you give back access to your life to someone who has not changed. True peace is not pretending everything is fine while something within you is repeatedly warning you. I do not call you to live in chaos to prove that you know how to love. I do not call you to sacrifice your inner safety just to keep an outer image of harmony. I call you to walk in the light, where tenderness and wisdom can coexist, where mercy is not separated from truth, and where you know how to love while still guarding what I have entrusted to you. So, when that name gradually becomes clearer, let your response be rooted in peace. Do not chase the need to know everything in one day. Do not force yourself to solve everything immediately. Let me lead you step by step, showing you what needs to be said, what should remain silent, what must be observed further, and what must be released. There are times when words are necessary, but there are also times when wise silence will protect you better. There are moments when you need to face something directly, but there are also moments when you simply need to withdraw from an atmosphere that is no longer healthy. I will teach you to recognize the difference. I will not leave you to grope alone through this uncertainty. My beloved child, do not be afraid of seeing clearly. Sometimes you fear the truth not because the truth is too great, but because you know that after seeing clearly, you will no longer be able to live as before. But that is the very meaning of freedom. When you see clearly, you are no longer ruled by uncertainty. When you recognize the truth, you no longer have to blame yourself for the quiet feelings that appeared within you. When you correctly name what is happening, you are no longer bound in confusion. I do not bring truth to take your peace away. I bring truth so your peace will no longer depend on false things. The peace I give is not fragile before truth. It is strong enough to go with you through every revelation, every decision, every conversation, and every necessary separation. Remember that you do not need to become hard in the way the world understands hardness. You only need to become steady in me. Steadiness means you are no longer easily swept away by sweet words that lack truthful action. Steadiness means you do not ignore repeated signs because you are afraid of losing a connection. Steadiness means you do not trade the purity of your heart for the approval of others. Steadiness means knowing that my love is enough to uphold you. Even when a few truths require you to step out of a place that was once familiar, I will not let this awareness make you bitter. If you let me lead you, it will make you more mature, calmer, deeper, and freer. Now take a very slow breath and place everything before me. Place that name before me. Place that hesitation before me. Place the memories, the signs, the conversations, the uneasy feelings, and the unanswered questions before me. I will not let you drown in hasty judgment, but neither will I let you remain forever in uncertainty. I will give you wisdom to know when to speak, when to be silent, when to move forward, when to stop, when to open your heart, and when to close a door to protect what is holy within you. This truly is a turning point. Not so you will lose yourself, but so you will recover the clarity, peace, and calm strength I placed within you long ago. Stand still in my light, because what is being revealed will not cause you to collapse. It will help you continue forward with brighter eyes, a wiser heart, and deeper trust in me.